What is up, you guys? Welcome back. Just took a few minutes break between streams here. What's going on, James? Welcome to Stream Pal. How are you? Good evening, good morning, whatever it may be. I am going to start the stream out, you guys, by please once again make sure that you guys check the link down in the description below. There is a link to a GoFundMe. It is for a very close friend of mine who his brother-in-law's wife, unfortunately of only 35 years of age, mother of two, has a very aggressive and unfortunate form of breast cancer, and the prognosis unfortunately is, as you can expect, and a very, very short amount of time. So the purpose of the GoFundMe and these streams, any money that's made from these streams or these videos that contain this link will be donated to the family as well. So anyway, whatever you guys can do, if not, at the very least, just watch these, because again, any of the ad revenue and things like that that's generated from these videos or streams will be given over to the family. So anyway, and to any families that are also going through the same thing, my heart goes out to you guys. What an awful situation, but very, very young, very, very sad thing. Very, very sad. But let's talk about what we're here for now. We are going to be flying nothing other than our B60 Duke. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys join my Patreon. I have a full tutorial guide on how to fly this bad boy. This is the Piston Duke version. Everything you need to complete the flight in the guide is in the guide. Charts, etc., checklists, everything that you need. Early morning. Not there yet. In 4 minutes, it'll be early morning for me. 4 minutes. So let's see here. Let me drag that over here. There we go. All right. So we're just going to take the Duke down from Sedona over into Phoenix. So let's just get started. This is, it used to be the TBM 850, but this very rapidly became my favorite aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator by far. It is an absolute blast to fly this thing. So let's see here. Let me get to our checklists. Any of the black square aircraft, because of the nature of the failures and the way that they work, you do not want to skip any of your checklists. So before we do anything, let's pull up the tablet and let's see what we've got here. Now I have to remember. There we go. Okay. So first on the payload, payload should be fine. Let's bump the fuel up just a bit. We're not going very far. It's only about an hour flight. We're going to have to adjust our center of gravity, though, and make sure that we get that squared away correct. Let's throw some people in the back. There we go. That'll be fine, although let's reduce that weight a little bit. 120 pounds each. Got to be a couple of kids. Okay, exterior elements are all removed. Nose and baggage doors, everything is closed. Left engine, let's check our status. Engine conditions 100%. Right engine's 100%. Electrical, no worry about the charge on the battery. Cabin O2 is full. Pulse ox is good. We'll want to keep an eye on that. And failures, no failures currently registering in the tablet. Tablet is secured. We're done. Let's put that away for right now. And then let's keep moving down. Let's remove our control locks. Hey, talking to you. Go away. Thank you. And let's reset our controls to match what we currently have. All lights, switches, everything is off. We have the Bravo throttle quadrant today. We have the PU autopilot panel. This thing is phenomenal. So anyway, let's start working through it. So cabin doors, we verified is latched. We can tell that by the key being here. Baggage door is closed. Parking brake, let's make sure the parking brake is set. Verified on our control switch. And let's see here, landing gear handle is down. Avionics and master switches are off. Batteries and electrical switches are off. Pre-flight cockpit preparations, make sure we have enough oxygen. We did verify that earlier. Pressurization alternate static air sources, we want to make sure that those are closed. These are the air vents. They allow hot air in from the engine themselves. We'll probably have to use those later on in the flight. Let's check any CO2 test. Good. Test works. And let's also make sure that, let's see here. So we checked the intercoolers. Cabin pressure cutoff is in. That's this guy right here. Over here on the right. All right. Let's keep working our way down here. And cabin temp mode currently set to the off position. Flaps are retracted and showing. Prop sync, we want to make sure that is off. There it is right there. Throttles, we want to make sure that our throttles are, power levels are closed. Propeller pitch is set to max. Mixture is also full rich. Elevator trim set in 0. You can either set 0 or just as close to, as long as you're in the green, you're usually pretty good. Is that reverted? Bernie, good morning, sir. No, not really, man. This is the only time that I really get to do anything, you know. I was asked that just the other day. You know, it's a pro and con thing. Like, obviously, all the day, during the day, I have my kids. I also do the YouTube videos and the recordings and work on Patreon stuff during the day, you know, but my kids make my schedule. So at night when everyone goes to bed and the house goes quiet, well, that's my time to do me. And I wasn't kidding when I told you guys I miss these live streams. I really do. So it's my chance to have adult interaction outside of fixing your technical problems in your environment, which I do for a day job. Let's see here. Check our rudder trims. Rudder trims, aileron trims are in the neutral position. Fuel shutoff valves. Our right tank is on and left tank is on. Excellent. All right, now let's start to get to our lights here. So we want our nav light on, beacon light on, battery switch can come to the on position. Let's make sure we have enough volts in this bad boy. Oh, voltage is looking good. And we also want to make sure that fuel pressure, or fuel quantity, excuse me, not pressure, is good as well. Cowl flaps, let's make sure that they're open. You can do this 2 different ways. Unfortunately, you can either hold the switch down, but the easiest way is just to go outside and look and see if they're open. And that is these right here. So when they're in the full down position like that, we're open. So we're good to go there. So we can come back inside. Our cowl flaps are already set. And so let's move on down here. Do a test light switch. Make sure that all of our warning lights illuminate accordingly. And now let's turn the left boost pump on. We're going to make sure that we can hear it. Let me make sure that the sim audio is loud enough for you guys. Whoa! That was weird. Was not expecting that. Okay. Bring you guys over here for just a second. Sim audio looks good. Okay. Want to make sure. Want to make sure you guys can hear everything. So. You can hear the hum. It's a hum. Okay. Let's do the right one. Good. All right, pre-oiler. Let's find our pre-oiler. That's going to be down here. And let's see here. Let's do the right one on for about 15 seconds. What we're looking for is if we come over here and watch the oil pressure, you should see it spike. See it jumped just a little bit. And once it does that, you can turn the pre-oiler to the off position. Okay, and then now we're going to go right throttle. We're going to go to full. We're going to flip that fuel boost pump back on. Watch the fuel flow peak. Leave it on for about 5 seconds. Take that throttle back to the idle position. Turn the fuel boost pump off. Okay. And then we're going to crack that throttle about a 1/2 inch. Give or take. I usually go about 1 inch. It's rarely ever just 1/2 inch. And let's get our magneto set. And let's zoom out. Still getting used to chase plane now. I'm going to go real wide so that way I can see everything and we can see the engine start. So let's give it a crank. See what we get. We're looking for 1,000 RPMs. Come on, baby. Nope, she ain't ready yet. So we're going to do the pre-oiler again. Make sure that pressure jumps up. There it went. Back to the fuel boost pump. Let it peak. Give it about 5 seconds again. We're also at a much higher altitude, so we're going to pull that back. Boost pump off. There she is, nice and pretty. There's my girl. No, James, I'm not on VATSIM yet, man. I need to. I really do. I have not. This was sort of impromptu. It was just one of those, like I said, it's late night, it's my time, this is dad time, you know, so I just kind of wanted to get up and have some fun. What do you mean that's different with the throttle at startup? What do you mean, Bernie? And we're just going to rinse and repeat this process. Let's get our throttle down to about 1,000. Okay, and now we're going to rinse and repeat for the left engine. Watching that oil pressure. There's the pop. Boost pump. Let it peak for a few seconds. Back to idle. Boost pump off. And what is nice is once you get one going, you can sort of just match them up. And let's see if the left one wants to behave itself this time. See if we can get her on the first try. There she is. Beautiful. All right. So, no fuel pressure lights to be worried about. Now we can turn our gens on. There we go. And we can now turn... Oh, wait. So, let's see here. We want to make sure that our generator voltage and amps are good. Voltmeters are charging, so if we turn one off, you can see it dropped on the right side. Left side. Oh. I may have been ahead of myself. I can go back and tell you, hang on. No, it's pump and then throttle. You were right. I should be turning the pump on, then bringing the throttle up. Just out of sequence. Alright, and now let's see where we're at here. I'm not going to go through all the pre-flight checks. I'm going to tell you I'm going to skip a few pages here. Alright, so inverter. Let's flip that to the main. There we go. And let's bring the avionics master on. Cabin temp. Let's watch it. It's at 51 degrees. We should be okay for now. Yeah. You're not wrong, James. At least I don't hide it. Just like, I'm not doing that. Let's turn our transponder on. Let's lean the engine out for taxi. Normally what I do for taxi is I'll just bring the engines back to where they start to choke. Right there, and then bring them forward. Oop, I went too far. I waited too long. Anyway, I'll usually wait. I'll bring them for taxi. I'll bring them back. Let them go sort of like a boom, 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 and then I'll bring the mixture back in about another ½ inch. And that's normally what I do for taxi. I keep it simple. Set our barometric pressure. All right, and now we're just going to set a very simple flight plan for today. Nothing crazy at all. I don't even think this thing... I always forget where the on button is. Huh. Actually, it should be on, now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, I don't care. I'm not worried about that part. Anyway, so very simple flight plan. So we are at, okay, says Sedona, and we're just going to take her down to Phoenix. Little short flight. Nothing crazy. There we go. Yeah, I'll probably do the run-up. The run-up is one of those ones that, yeah, if I don't, it bites me in the butt. The Black Square aircraft are notorious for reminding me to follow the checklists. They stick me every time. Very rarely do I get away with not doing it in this aircraft. Set our initial target altitude. We're going to set it for 12,000 feet. Okay, and taxi lights. And we're almost ready for the run-up, speaking of which. And you know what? I think we'll just probably sit and do it here. Well, we'll get away from these guys. That's kind of mean. Blow them right down the street. Probably a good spot right about here. Actually, I think we have a run-up spot down over there. I just realized we're in Sedona. Yeah, no, man. I'm always up late. How you doing, bud? I am always up late, bud. Bernie's first words to me in the chat was, do I ever sleep? I always find a way to add comic relief, man. One way or the other, it always ends up happening. You guys will hear me say this a lot of times, but it's going to be very high level from here on out. Please make sure you guys check out the GoFundMe in the link in the description. It's for someone, a good close friend of mine. He runs ATS accessories. He made the button box behind me on the trucking rig. Really sad situation. So anyway, if you guys can just take a minute and read that at some point, appreciate it. If you can donate, great. If not, no worries. Just keep them in your prayers and just watch my videos, because all the ad revenue is going to go to them for these videos. I actually just got into ETS2 today. This morning I finally got it all set up. Alright, let's hit that parking brake. And again, we're going to do a warning lights test. Fuel selectors, we're going to set them over to crossfeed. You're going to make me move, aren't you? Yeah. There we go. Fuel boost pumps go to on. Alright, we're going to get us up to 2,000 RPMs. Yeah, me too. I'm definitely a night owl, which sucks because my mornings start at like 5 a.m. Left engine's running a lot higher. There we go. Close enough. Alright. Cycle the props. Check the right magnetos, or the right engine magnetos. Looking for no more than 150 RPMs on a drop. That's what I did last night. I was up basically all night long. Okay, left engine. Okay. Instrument air. Is in the green. Left generator off. Right carries the amperage. Right gen off. Load should go to 0. Left gen should be above 0.25. Alright. Let's make sure all windows are closed. RPMs are going to go to 2,500. Alright, pressurization, we want at field elevation. We're basically still under the sea level. I don't know if we can move it down that far. I actually skipped the page. Hang on. There we go. Alright, pressurization set to 10 o'clock. Differential set to 0. Set pressurization down 1,000 feet. Pressurization switch to test. Pressurization is declining. Switch back to the normal position. Now we're going to go pressurization, cruise altitude plus 1,000. We're going to be going 19,000 feet. So there's 18. 19, so we're going to set it for 20. Okay, pressurization set. Throttles to 1,500 RPMs. Forgot to save my cameras if you can't tell. Alright, so now we're going to turn our prop heats on. And we're going to do a ground heat test, watching the amperage. Which they are not doing what they should. You'll love that thing, dude. You'll love that thing. Oh, it helps if I'm looking at the right. There it is. On the right side. Helps you looking at the right gauge. Anyway. Alright. Prop heat's off. Windshield heat on. Make sure we go into the green. Off. Alright. Left pitot heat on. Right pitot heat on. Alright. Fuel selectors to the on position. Pitch trim we have set. Turn it on. I'm not going to worry about the autopilot test. I am going to skip it. It is fully modeled, but I already warned you. I'm in that mood. I'm making sure that anything that can bring us down. The beta software, if you just join their Discord, they give you the code for it. But it should come with it. I think it's like M Booster. And the shifter itself is made by ATS Accessories. All right, let's go. Set this guy over to heading. Make sure our heading bug is functioning. More or less there. All right, pitch trim's on, fuel tanks are set, heading bug set, autopilot. That's for the autopilot test. Check, 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 check. Good. All right, let's do this. Whoa. Strobe lights on, landing lights on. I'm gonna try to, bud. I don't know if I can make it this year or not. I don't know that I have anyone to watch my little ones. So we'll see. I would like to. I was really looking forward to it, but I don't know. I don't know, sir. I definitely want to. But they come first. He made the adapter for the AB9 because of moi. I obviously knew about it in advance, and I knew that nobody else would have that, and so I got to working with him right away. We went through quite a few prototypes before we found one that wouldn't break. And this one, you could beat an elephant with it. Alright, heading mode is set, altitude mode is set, autopilot set is off. Prop sync still off. Flaps. We are not going to need flaps in this aircraft. Not a chance. Alright, so we are going to be setting, let's see here. From sea level, we're going to be looking for takeoff power setting. We're going to be climbing up to 20,000 feet, looking for 140 knots climb out speed. We're going to be taking off at 41.5 inches of pressure, 2,900 RPMs. Rotation is always 88 knots. And climb angle, we're going to be looking right around 15 degrees. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. Alright. Now, with this aircraft, we want to slowly spin it up so that way the turbochargers pick up. There's our max RPMs, brake release, we're on our way. She comes alive very quickly. Airspeed alive. 60 knots, 70 knots. There's 88, rotating gently. Good rate. Gear up. Yeah, this aircraft sounds amazing. This aircraft is phenomenal, dude. Like I said, it very quickly became my favorite aircraft. That's why I did the guide on it, the tutorial guide. It's just such a cool plane. Flies like a bat out of hell. Why didn't you guys tell me my mixture wasn't full rich? Why didn't you read your own checklist, Mike? Well, because I didn't want to. RPMs, let's get down to max continuous, looking for about 2750. Manifold pressure will stay at 41.5 for now. Ooh, bumpy day. Watch out for that 140 knots, see if we can get above this turbulence. Yeah, Brunner, dude, there's a couple companies that are in trouble now. Moses taking the game by storm, dude. Moses isn't messing around anymore. They're just not. Alright. It's awesome. I bounce back and forth all the time. All right, so cabin temperature light is illuminated. We're dropping below 50 degrees. So we'll turn the auto heat on for now. And if for any reason that doesn't work, we can open up the intercoolers. The danger about opening up the intercoolers is then you got to watch your oxygen, which we have to watch our oxygen anyway. Let's make sure our cabin pressure is climbing. It is. Yeah, you're not the only one that I've heard struggling with that. I do promise it's worth the wait. I will promise you that. Have mode on. Back a little bit. I'm just waiting for Pimax's mixed reality headset because I want to do that too. And start closing the cowl flaps, and we can actually click right here in the middle and it'll close both of them up. Again, the easiest way is just go outside, make sure they're closed. Worth it though, dude. I have purchased and owned every single release Pimax has ever put out. The Crystal was the first one they ever provided to me. They're worth it. Even with all their growing pains and the software pains that I've dealt with, the fidelity and the overall experience once you get it dialed in is phenomenal. And I will say, so I just reformatted my machine. I do it twice a year. I reformat my entire computer just because I'm constantly doing different softwares, constantly new add-ons, new programs, and just, you know, I like to clear everything out. The thing about Pimax is that the experience is phenomenal, and they're the best bang for the buck. Because even when you look at things like the Crystal Light, you know, if you're looking at just a desktop pilot, the only thing that it doesn't have is eye tracking. Yeah, exactly. Well, and especially now with the support of DLSS 4.0, it's so easy to achieve it, which I really wish ATS would freaking support, by the way. It annoys me that they don't yet. At the same token, you get into like farming sim and they don't support VR at all, so. Yeah, it is. Yeah, every now and then, I don't usually do it on stream just because I can't see the chat. That's the only reason why I don't ever do VR when I'm streaming the trucking. But I'll tell you what, even with the triple big screens, it's a badass experience. There's pros and cons to both. Like, they come close to each other. But I have to emphasize large screens. You have to have large screens to meet it. But they both have their pros and cons at that point. Like, I was even in DCS World yesterday in the F-18 on the 3 triples, the large screens back there, and the sense of speed was pretty impressive. It really is, Luke. It really is. There's so much cool stuff coming. There's so many new pieces of hardware. I was thinking about just the other day, you know, man, we used to not have anything. I remember when good flight sim equipment was a dream. Yeah, I don't like using the hand controllers either. pulse ox as we're going through the climb. 95, so we want to keep an eye on this. Gets too low. I've heard hypoxia is a bad thing. Alright, we're coming out of the climb. Yeah, I was actually about to mention CH Pro. Alright, let's take our manifold pressure down to 35.5 inches. And we'll leave the prop at max continuous for a minute. Set our standard pressure. The 777? Hell yes it is. Hell yes. I love the 777. For me, when it comes to the Boeings, and I'm a big Boeing guy, I think they're more fun to fly than the Airbus. You know, and it's not to knock one or the other. I enjoy them more. I think it's the same reason why I like steam gauge cockpits versus the big glass screens. You know, that's why I don't fly the G1000s, and that's why the first thing I did when I got in here was switched out from the GTN 750. I like the busier cockpits, and I feel like the Boeings are busier. There's more to do. Oops. Alright, we're at cruise. Fuel boost pumps off. See if I can remember how to lean this bad boy. So we got cylinders 4 and 1. There's peak. Now we want to go 50 over. So let's bring it back. Over peak, this is going to give us the best fuel economy. If you went rich over peak, you burn more fuel, but you fly a bit faster. There's the right engine. Whoa, left engine, I bumped it. Close enough. And now that we're at cruise, we can also turn prop sync on. Groovy. '98. Let's see here. What was my first? I think I started in FSX, and then I remember going to P3D. But it was still on version 3. So I remember how excited I was when 4 came out. And then I went to X-Plane 11 and flew that one for a long time. I even did Pilot's Edge in the Zibo 737. And then I think I had stepped away from general aviation commercial flight and went real heavy with DCS for a long time. And that's how my channel started. My channel started with DCS World. Yeah, and then when MSFS came out in 2020, that's when my channel took off, for lack of a better term. We can turn those landing lights off. And FSX, I don't think so. Yeah, I would say X-Plane 11 is where I really started to dive in deep. I'll agree with that. It's a shame. I think I think as 2024 continues to mature, I think they are going to bury X-Plane 12, unfortunately. I think Laminar is in a lot of trouble, I really do. And mostly it's because of the scenery. I still stand firm when it comes to flight models and accuracy. X-Plane wins by far, and I think that's why it's still the only one that's certified by the FAA. But I think it's a matter of time. Yeah, no, they don't leave any room for the arcade, and in my personal opinion, they should be two separate platforms. You should have Microsoft Flight Simulator, and you could even call that arcade or freestyle or whatever, and then you should have the simulator. I think a lot of what really kicked 2020 down is when they made it Xbox compatible. You remember when the graphics settings and everything went down and the graphics quality degraded, but like the biggest thing that gives Microsoft the advantage over Laminar is the scenery. That photographic scenery. You know, Laminar can't do that. They don't have that kind of money. You know, Asobo can do it because they're backed by Microsoft. Hey Chinook, good evening. Welcome to the stream, bud. Do me a favor if you get a chance, check out the GoFundMe link down in the description below. It's for a friend of mine. Really tragic situation happening, and we're just trying to help out, myself and another streamer. If you wouldn't mind. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know, but like the big appeal to Microsoft is that you don't have to have the hard drive space that you had to have that scenery in X-Plane. I remember in X-Plane 11, I had a 2 terabyte hard drive that was dedicated just to the scenery. And I remember it was almost full. I didn't have a lot. Primarily, I flew around the West Coast, around my home. But I will say this, you can make X-Plane look very realistic. It just takes a lot. It's a lot of legwork on you as the simmer to do it. And Microsoft removed that. I will say that if it wasn't for the scenery and the updated graphics engine, that even Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, if it had not been for the scenery and the incredibly better graphics, I do think 2020 would have died in its infancy. You ask people, like all the time I ask, what is the biggest appeal to 2020? And they all, 99% of the time I hear the same thing. It's the scenery. It's the scenery. It's the scenery. And then like we were talking earlier, the VR performance. But if in the beginning, VR was supported in 2020. Yes, and a lot of money. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, some of those sceneries, remember when the Orbix sceneries, God, they were expensive, dude. And then there was somebody else, something Mesh. I can't remember what the name of it was. We departed out of K Says, so Sedona. No, I meant 2020. I was just talking about when it first launched. Remember, because it was so buggy. That's why, like, we'll get back to that in a second. So we flew out of Sedona. We're on our way to Phoenix, Luke. But yeah, like when 2020 first launched, and that's why, like, Global Mesh, that was it. Global Mesh, yes. And they were huge, dude. Those file sizes. I remember I tried to do all of Arizona. I'm like, wow, this would be cool. I'll do all of Arizona. That's obviously where I live. I learned real quick that was not going to work. And that's what people don't understand about 2024, you know, when they talk about why it's a cloud service. People think that, you know, I don't understand why I can't download it. What it would take to download just the scenery. No, I don't think anybody has that hard drive space in their home. Yeah, agreed, James, agreed. I forgot that it does that. That's Chase Plane. you go idle for X amount of time, it'll throw you to the external view, the orbit view. Well, that's kind of cool. By the way, Chase Plane is dope if you guys haven't checked it out. Like, a lot of your panels are already here. Like, it's really nice. Leaning. It's pretty slick. And it's like this for every aircraft. I didn't set any of this up. It just, like, knows. Like, man, the work that had to have gone into this. The passenger seats. Although I like the forward-facing ones. Are my flaps down? No. Okay. Just look like it. I think the aileron's up is what that is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with that. I agree. 2024 comment. Well, and it's like you said, it was like simple things. Like the whole reason why I did the SPAD video, why I still stick to SPAD. The control interface is crap. The menus, navigating the menus, just trying to figure out how to set your controls. It's annoying. Well, I went through start to finish, at least what I do, in this aircraft, so hopefully that helps you, Avalanche. Yeah, Chase Plane is slick, Luke. It's slick. And then my favorite, my favorite. We gotta do my favorite. Where is it? I don't have the key bound to this yet. Look at that crabbing, dude. That tells you what the wind is doing. Holy shit. But we finally have a flyby view. The flyby view alone for me was worth the 30 bucks. Let's go back to where we were. Yeah, that's right. And it's just things like that. And then, like you guys were talking about earlier, you know, with the, you know, like the day one launch thing with the whole server issue, I actually don't fault them for. Like, the only thing that caught my attention was when they were saying that they had tested with 200,000 simultaneous connections to the database. And the only reason why that caught my attention, and I'm sure that just like anything else, there's a limit to how many you can test internally. There is. But I feel like 200,000 when they had already known that you had some 20 million flight simmers in 2020, and that they had already expressed that 2020 saw the largest influx of flight simulator users ever seen before, and then you have this brand new that's been hyped up for over a year and a half, you know, simulator coming out, and you only test with 200,000 connections. That's the only place that I fault them, and I don't even know if that's the right word. Yeah, I noticed that too. Clicking make default does not work for me either. So yeah, it was a lot of things, and it feels like they were lazy with certain things. The other thing was like that, and again, it's just like you said earlier, it's all the little stuff that just kept stacking until you had this big mess. So like another little thing that was stupid to me was that, like, as something as simple as the camera views and navigating the cameras inside the plane, they completely changed that in 2024. All of the controls that you had gotten used to in 2020 on how to manipulate your cameras, save your cameras, blah, blah, they changed it. It's like, why would you do that? Eagle Dynamics, I will say, has always been learning. Like, they pay attention. I will never say anything negative about ED themselves. They pay attention, they listen, and they learn from it. The other thing that I really like about ED is I remember, like, when Wags put out an apology, when they flat out said it was the F-16 that they released, they owned it. They came out and said, we launched this too early. Hey Brian, how are you? Good morning, buddy. Good to see you again. Yeah, I love ED. And guys, I'm going to tell you guys this too. If you guys have ever, like, if you avoid DCS World because you're not into combat, there is so much more to do than combat, especially especially if you like helicopters. If you like helicopters and the idea of just transferring stuff from point A to point B, literally doing load pickup, picking stuff up, and it's physically modeled now. It didn't used to be, but now it's physically modeled where you have to hover it over an object, drop your hook down, pick something up, take it somewhere else. You feel the physics. So like if you start flying like a dipstick, you know what I mean? You're going to start getting thrown around. And then I will say that the helicopter experience is far superior in DCS World than it is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Search and rescue, yeah, there's so much more you can do that's outside of combat. You ever really want to tweak your freaking and piss yourself off? Try air-to-air refueling sometime. No combat needed, just try to hook up to a tanker. The hours. What's in multiplayer DCS? The helicopter stuff? Yeah. Lifting the cargo? Yeah, it's modeled now. Because I'm pretty sure it was. I had done it a few months ago. Well, probably 8-9 months ago now, but... The other thing that I'll say is better. At least me personally, I think so. This is a touchy subject, but I think virtual reality is better in DCS too. I think it performs a lot better. The DCS Huey is my favorite module in the sim to this day. There's just something about it between the sounds and everything else. Uh-oh. I think we talked too much. Did you guys get me in trouble? Yes, you did. I'm blaming you guys, not me. Okay, let's get this nose pitch down. I'm gonna need you to descend. Yeah. Let's get us down to about 4,000, and let's get that nose down. And let's get us into. I just forget where it is. Attitude. And let's pull that power off. Props where they are. Oh, I will. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I mean we're still far enough out, I think. Let's see, how far are we? The hell did I just do? That was interesting. That moment where you hit a button and you don't know what it is. Well, we're 35 miles out. Now we're looking at 20 miles. Yeah. Well, we were only at 19,000. We should be able to get down fast enough. I think we'll be okay. Oh, I don't, man. It's like, this is my airspace. These ATC guys don't know what they're talking about. I could actually probably pitch this down a little bit more. We could probably do a steady 1,500. Not 2,000. It's because I always fly with a stick. I rarely use the yokes that I have. And, you know, I've told people this a lot of times. When people ask me, you know, I get asked actually really frequently, funny enough, if you're just starting out in flight simulation, should you go for yokes and throttle, or should you go for a HOTAS? And I always tell them HOTAS. If, under the one condition, unless you are 100% certain that you're going to stick with like an aircraft just like this, that's it. That's all you're going to do. You know that's all you're going to do. That's it. You know, if you are positive on that, then fine, yoke and everything like that. But if you are even remotely, if you think you just might get a wild hair up your butt and say, you know what, I want to fly a helicopter today, HOTAS. If you decide that you want to fly an Airbus, HOTAS. If you decide that you want to maybe dabble in DCS World or an old Warbird, HOTAS. The nice thing about HOTAS, hands-on stick and throttle, is that you can do anything with them. I use the Bravo for aircraft like this because it is more fun having your TPM, you know, but when it comes to everything else, speaking of TPM, and we should also get our cowl flaps opened back up. By the way, it takes about 10 seconds for them to open. It's like 8 seconds, something like that. But if you count the 10, you're usually good. Let's get landing lights back on as we start to come down. I just like to stay ahead of the game. I should probably see what the weather is in Phoenix, huh? So we have some idea of what runway we're landing on. Phoenix Sky Harbor. Wind 090 at 7 knots. We're going to be landing on runway 06. Visibility 10, clear. Temperature 19, dew point 3, 299.03 on the altimeter. Yay! Happy days. Oh, trust me, I know. So that's what I'm doing with the rig behind me. You know, I have a little welder in the garage, and this is why I like this. This is exactly why I prefer metal rigs over aluminum extrusion. And you have to have the know-how, I guess. But you know, I've said it in videos. DIY is just so easy now. And the thing about this, you know, people are like, well, you know, if you've never welded before, like, it doesn't have to. You're not holding up the Titanic. You know, you're not passing any NASA requirements with your welds here. You know, it has to hold up a few pounds. You know, as long as you make them too stick and you can't pull them apart, neither will the equipment you're playing with. But anyway, you know, I've got it now where I can pretty quickly, it takes me maybe 5 or 6 minutes, I can completely swap between flight and driving simulation. Now, with that being said, like we were talking about earlier, the AB9 made that significantly easier. Let's go to heading mode. Let's do some circling. Tell me when and where, and I'll take you on with a flanker. You can be in the flanker, I'll be in mine. Oh, do you really? That's awesome, dude. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you guys have all caught it, but just in case, I'm in Tucson. I'm right next door. Takes me about 2 hours. I don't have any problem with that. Going from fixed wing to rotor, I don't. Rotor comes very naturally to me. Like, I understand the physics of it very, very well. Like, not to say that I'm a pro or anything, but like, it's real easy for me to swing back into it. That's why I always hide the yokes. A little tip on that, if it helps, you can try it. If not, you know, my bad. But that's exactly why I hide the yokes. Is because that way I don't get that visual, like for example, so I don't get that visual breaker of immersion, if you will. Oh, really? Why? Here's Sky Harbor. And I think we're going to be coming in from this way. Yes. Because that's 2.6. So yeah, it would have to be this side. We'll actually extend out a little bit now. Fair enough. Fair enough. God, she picked Phoenix? I don't like big cities. If I could live up in the mountains and still have my high-speed internet and a place to go race my car, not that I do that. I totally do. I love beating up on little Hondas and things. I caught some kid just tonight. He was like, you could tell he was a young boy, a young teenager. And he had what looked like his significant other's girlfriend in the car, and he's doing this wing, wing. And I have a Dodge Challenger. And he got into it with he was sort of picking on just a normal little Honda, but it looked like another teenage boy, maybe a friend or whatever. So he's sitting there, kept teasing this other kid. So I get next to him, and his girlfriend's like sitting there, and I get right next to him and goes, wow! Opened up my V8, caught them at the next light, and the girlfriend was like laughing at him. I felt so bad. Kind of. Not really, but maybe. Yeah, but see, think about it. Take the gym out. Because anywhere can be the gym. You can make your own gym. That's what I did in my garage. That's how I've lost 50 pounds this year. I don't have time to go to a gym, I wish. Yeah, but fast internet. Fast internet's the key. Like, if that Starlink thing, and it doesn't matter what anyone thinks of Elon, I don't care about that part, just in case. It's the service I'm after. Sort of the same principle as SPAD. SPAD's customer service, they're a bunch of jerks, but I like the software. You know? Yeah, if I could afford something like that, but I heard it's really expensive. Yeah, put me up in a mountain. It's like, one thing that I've always wanted to do is I want to go on that show alone. I think I could do it. Like, people are like, well, what about the solitude of being by yourself? It's like, what do you think I do now? I see. He said jerks. They are. If you've ever had to deal with them, you'll know, dude. They're arrogant asses. They have a great product, but they're jerks. Don't you love how I'm doing this in a Class B airspace? Just flying wherever I want. I don't care. They can wait. Yeah. No, not an EV. So I had a guy, I raced a Tesla one day, and obviously I lost. Like, I'm not going to play that one up. And like, people like will get into the, like, how could your car not beat a Tesla? It's like, people do not, there's a lot of people out there, especially young kids, who do not understand the amount of torque that electric motors generate. Anyway, oh, really? We're still good on the stream, right? Is that just Microsoft? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, oh crap, I didn't turn prop sync off. What was I saying? I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, so I got my ass whooped, right, by a Tesla. Absolutely hammered. He disappeared in the night. Caught him at the next light. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, so what happened? I was like, all right, fair enough. But you know what my car can do that yours can't? And again, I have a big V8 and opened up exhaust and everything. And he was like, yeah, what? What's that? And I went, whoa! I was like, that? Yeah, they have a ton of torque. They can get moving, man. Okay, so I totally lost sight of the airport. Where are we? Coming up on 4,000 here. It's time to start thinking about getting this thing ready to land. I get it late at night. I don't ever get it in the day almost anymore, but I do still get it at night. Alright. Let's start slowing this fat mama out. Well, it's like that one Dodge, when they pulled out that new EV Challenger and they made an audio engine rev. It's like, stop. Like, you already broke the rules. Yeah, exactly. I'm not against EVs. It's not that I'm a motorhead. It's like you just said. Like, if I had an option, if I could afford both, sure. It's not that I don't see the value in them. I do see the value in them. It's just not what I want. We are approaching Phoenix. We're approaching Sky Harbor. James, you own a Camaro? I'm sorry. No, I mean, Slomeros are cool. I mean, Camaros. I'm just picking on you. Camaros are dope. I actually really like the way Camaros look. But I'm Mopar, buddy, so you're going to catch a little flack. This is 2020. Yeah. No, not usually, because it uses the cached graphics at that point. You gotta remember it's caching. So unless it's down for a while, then you might lose some graphics quality, but this is such an illegal approach, just for the record. Are we off from... Yes, we are. There it is. Ugh. Space shuttle approach. Ooh, and we're crabbing. Think we can pull this off? Slip it right on the piano keys? We're not going to get the piano keys. But I'll get the touchdown zone. No, nothing is illegal in Mike County. That is a fact. There are times I fly it like legit, and there are times I fly it like I stole it. But in this case, I stole it, and I'm giving it back at least. Like, all right, I had my fun. Here you go. Yeah, that's what I have. I have a 2019 Scat Pack wide body. Hold it. Greaser. Emergency landing practice. I like that. I'm okay with that. Still a good landing. What a wood pack booty body. A Scat Pack wide body. You're speaking masculine. I haven't had my coffee. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Toast is now served. Lightning lights off. Texture lights on. Strobe lights off. Whoever just followed, thank you very much. Who was that? Why are my alerts not popping up? It's starting to piss me off. It's because I had them buried. Hey, Crimson! What's up, buddy? Mustangs? I mean... Okay, so all joking and shit talking set aside, yes, they are. The thing about Mustangs is it depends on which one you have. Some are good, and some are still underpowered as hell. Like, if you just have a standard 5.0, I'm going to stomp you every day. Dude, I watch him! And I met him once. Yeah, he's a Pinal County Sheriff's Officer. I met him once at a Burger King. He's a cool dude. He's actually a really nice guy. I love his TikToks. You know, I don't, you know, a lot of people think he's a dick. I don't think so. Pardon my French. Crimson, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Hanging in there. A little late night streaming. Since 12 AD. I always tell my kids about that. Especially my oldest. She's like, she'll complain sometimes when the Wi-Fi is slow. And I was like, dude, you don't get to complain until you've experienced dial-up or someone telling you to get off because they need to make a phone call. Like, shut up. You know, what the hell? What time is it? Yeah, what the hell? You guys want to fly to Tucson? Let's fly to Tucson. Let me do a quick status check of the aircraft, and then we'll turn it around and take back off. Again, my airport, I can do what I want. Alright, pressurization, we're going to need to change that. We're not going to go that high. Actually, I don't even know. Wouldn't really make much sense to go above 10,000, so we'll probably just head back to sea level, to be honest. Yeah, we all heard that. I remember that, man. The butter, the tires. You want the butter? Yeah, that was a good landing. I'm actually really impressed by that. I wasn't expecting that to go that well. That was a really steep approach. 3 degrees? 5 degrees? Oh, come on. No. We do 9 degrees. Hell, I think it was more than that. Some Dawn in a scrub brush. Alright, let me get back over. See how much fuel we have. We should have plenty of fuel. I overloaded on purpose. I've met me before. I figured that we were going to fly some more. Alright, let's do a quick check here. Failures check. Do I even have failures turned on? Oh, yes I do. Okay, cabin. Good. Payload. Oh, jeez, we have a ton of fuel. Yeah, what the hell? Let's go to Tucson. Yeah, dial-up sucked. Dial-up sucked. There was no playing Microsoft Flight Simulator on dial-up. Could you imagine that? Oh my god, that'd be horrible. That'd be awful. Alright, let me go get a drink. I'll be right back. Alright. Guess what it is? I got Monster. That's what that is. I don't have coffee. I don't like coffee. Years ago, this is actually where I learned how to weld. My father had his own metal fab shop. And I was 16, 17-ish maybe. And I worked with my father for about 2 years in his fab shop. And the only time that I ever liked drinking coffee, and I've always been a nighthawk, so I paid the price every single morning, but it was like on a nice cold morning, every now and then I would have some coffee, but usually, screw that. Alright, we're going to keep it low. I'm not going to worry about a flight plan. I'm pretty sure I know how to get from Phoenix to Tucson. Watch me get lost. Hey man, I told you, dude, this is my airport. They don't get to say for anyone who has just joined, guys, I told you guys I was going to remind you guys every now and then, please check the GoFundMe link down in the description below and read that page. This is a close friend of mine. He's actually the operator of ATS Accessories, who made that truck button box and the shifter. He's a good friend of mine. His brother-in-law's wife, 35 years old, mother of 2, a very aggressive and fast-moving form of breast cancer, and unfortunately her prognosis is not good at all and very short. So if you guys can help out, great. If not, no worries. Just watching the stream, any of the videos that have that link in it, I'm going to be giving them any of the monies that come from it. It's just YouTube takes such a big chunk out of the ads. So anyway, just wanted to toss that out. I'm not going to preach about it, but if you can, check out the link and read their story. Anyway, yeah, dude, so I am literally, I will admit it, I'm addicted to Monster. But the strawberry one, oh yes, it's delicious. It's my favorite. could read that. Okay, so I have to work on my alerts. I'm sorry, who just followed me on Twitch? Thank you. I suck at this. I'm sorry. First, my alerts were buried behind the scene, and then I just saw another one pop up, and it was so freaking small I couldn't read it. I just made it bigger. Giggity. But thank you guys so much for the follows, and just thanks for hanging out, you guys. I look forward to this. I meant what I said earlier. You know, I most of my human-to-human interaction is a 7 and 9-year-old. So, or fixing someone's computer environment at, you know, large enterprise corporations. Screw tachycardia, Monster Ultra Sunrise. He says giggity indeed. Yeah, this is good times. I love this. This is why I stay up late streaming. I hang out with you guys. This is fun. As we're taxing at Mach 4. Come in at 9-degree approach angles, 10-degree approach angles, taxi at 50 knots, leave the plane on the taxiway. At least I didn't pull a Harrison Ford. I didn't land on the taxiway. We could do that in Tucson if you want. Wasn't Phoenix one of the places he actually did that? Or was that... I know LA was. Wasn't it LA? Hey, bro. I wear the crown. 109? That's a nice day, bud. So it depends on where you are. Like, for example, Phoenix. This is why I don't like going to Phoenix. Phoenix gets a lot hotter than Tucson does. Anybody, dude. Okay, so funny thing. I'll come back to the gifts in a second. So Tucson, like this last summer, I think the hottest it got was like 111, 112. But like in Phoenix, it can get damn near into 120s, and I think they have hit the 120s before. I don't think they did this last year, but like 117, 118, they get up there. My buddies and I at work, we can literally have full conversation in GIFs. Like we're quick, dude. We are quick with the GIFs. But see, the thing about Tucson, and even Arizona in general, specifically Tucson though, here's why I like Tucson, because even Phoenix gets the big nasty dust storms, the big haboobs. In Tucson, I love it because we have 3 bad months out of the year. Like, being realistic, you know, mid-June to late September, early October, depending on the year, it gets hot, right? But it's only hot between the hours of, like, honestly, 12 and, like, 4. Okay? Anytime outside of that, it's manageable. And almost anywhere you go, you have air conditioning. Almost everybody's car nowadays now has air conditioning. So, like, if you want to get out and do something, you do it early in the morning or you do it late in the evening, and you operate around the heat. You know, but we have 3 bad months out of the year. The monsoons are dope when they actually happen. So the storms add a really nice touch to it. And, like, I love the monsoons. I will literally sit out in my garage and just watch the storms when they come in. The problem is they're very hit and run in Tucson. Like, a storm, and I will give them this, like, it'll flood the streets in a matter of minutes. But they last about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and they're gone. You know, but we don't get earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, snowstorms, dust storms. We don't get any of that in Tucson. None of it. Tornadoes, I think I already mentioned. All right, let's roll. Let's hit the brakes. Listen to that whistle. Oh yeah, no, I hate the humidity. I effing hate the humidity. When we went to the Flight Sim Expo in Houston, holy shoot. As soon as we opened the doors airport. I had my glasses on, and they instantly fogged up. And that was probably the biggest killer for me out there, was just the humidity. One of the things, if you didn't go to the expo out there, there was a lot of us content creators who were invited to sort of like an after party thing with Russ Master, and it was in I can't remember the name of the 747, but it's the 747 that carries the space shuttle at the NASA Air and Space Center. And it was so freaking hot, and then the humidity. Oh my gosh! I mean, the humidity was, and I'm like I'm not one of those people who get sick with things like that. But being inside the airplane, and that was the thing, they only had the air conditioner functioning on half of the plane. They probably had 100 people stuffed inside of it, which, again, this isn't a full-size 747, and we were all crammed into the top deck of it. Yeah, humidity can... I hate humidity. Humidity can kiss my butt. Sure. Yeah, it absolutely gets freezing. I mean, depending on the time of the year. Like right now, I think it's like 41 degrees outside, 42 degrees outside. But in the actual winter, like we get snow. We usually get snow once a year, but... Like, just to be clear on how this works, you'll wake up in the morning, your yard will be covered in snow, the kids will go out and play with it, and by noon it's gone. So, like, there is none of this. And that's the other thing, you don't have to worry about snow damage. You know, there's none of this, you know, the facets of your roof falling apart from the snow. Hey, Tazzy, how are you? Welcome to the stream. What are you cooking for dinner? I'm kind of hungry. Landed the Phenom on a highway runway? What? Yeah. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have to worry about it. Don't have to worry about it. Where are you going? Oh, hey. You need to be going that way. Autopilot's a little goofy. The heading hole is weird. Congratulations on the Air Force. That's awesome, dude. Avocados, man. Avocados and chicken is what's been helping me lose weight like crazy. And boiled eggs. Working on the guns. Sorry, it's late. I'm getting delirious. Yeah, see, nah, dude, I wouldn't want to deal with that. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. That's cool. I love the PC-12. PC-12 is awesome. It's a fun play. Two inches of snow will shut down Tucson just because everyone's scared of it. Oh my gosh, dude. So, Tucson is one of those really funny places when it rains, right? You can literally look out your window right now. This actually used to happen to me when we were kids. It was funny as hell because my mom would just trip. She would look out the window, right? And like, let's say she was cooking in the kitchen or cleaning the kitchen or something like that. And it'd be pouring in the backyard while all of us kids were playing out front, right? Hanging out with the neighbor kids, blah, blah. And she'd come like yelling, like, you kids know you're supposed to come inside when it's raining, because they had this code. For us, and I'm sure anyone who's a Gen X kid, you remember, it was either a whistle, a yell, or flashing of the floodlights, right? That was in front of the house. So she would flash the floodlights, and we'd be like, why are we coming in already? Like, it's not even time. And she'd be like, you guys know better. When it rains, you're supposed to come inside. It's like, it's not raining. And she goes, yes, I'm sitting here staring at it. And she's right, she was. But I remember, like, my sister and I would be like, no, come out front, come out front. She would go out front, and the streets are perfectly dry. You know, but the thing about Tucson, especially drivers, dude, and it's one of those embarrassing cards that we just have to own as a Tucsonan. is that if at the other end of town, one drop of water hits somebody's windshield, somehow that gets relayed to every other driver on the road, and everyone just forgets how to drive. And with the snow, forget it. X, what's going on, my dude? How are you, buddy? No, sir, you did not miss a stream. At least not the second one. I did a stream earlier on SPAD. Guys, once again, I'm going to say it real quick. Please do me a favor. This will be a quick one. Check out the GoFundMe link in the description below. Please consider helping them out if you can. But please look down that and read the story. She has very little time. That's it. Promise. It's important to me, so I'm sorry if I hope I'm not annoying anybody with it. They're really good people. Dude, that would be awesome. So I got a really cool invite. So out here at Pimax Air and Space Museum, we'll actually fly over it. Why not? We'll have to pass the airport, but screw it. Why not? Speaking of which, I should probably turn more towards Tucson. So I got a really cool invite. Out here at Pimax Air and Space Museum, we have a B-17 museum. A dedicated hangar. It's a dedicated memorial to the B-17. Give me a second, I'll tell you which one. I want to make sure I get it right. This guy sent me a picture of him standing in front of the Memphis Belle. It's like, you jerk. Not in a bad way, that's really awesome. I'm trying to remember what group they were in. That's what I'm trying to get right. I want to make sure I say what group they were in correctly. .390th Bomber Wing in World War II. And they have, watch here, I'll do this. I think I'm still on, yeah. So there's that. This is a memorial that this gentleman's father painted inside the museum. I don't think he sent me a picture of the actual bomber. There's just a documentary on. There's the gentleman I'm going with. This is another mural that was painted. You can't see that for shit. That sucks. I'm sorry. Is that a better picture? There we go. That's one that his dad painted. That's him, I think. His dad. But anyway, so, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Long story, cool story short, like April 5th, and I'm going to ask him if I can bring my phone and record everything. I get to actually go crawl inside the B-17. All right, Avalanche, take care, buddy. Thanks for hanging out, man. Yes, sir, will do. I just checked the link, X. Long story short, the guy who does ATS accessories made my shifter for the trucking and the button box behind me over my shoulder. His brother-in-law's wife, 35 years old, mother of two, very aggressive, former breast cancer, and unfortunately her prognosis is a matter of months. Hoping that she still beats it and wins that fight, but so me and another streamer are just trying to help him out. We gotta get into the TBM 850 soon. Now this is making me want to fly the TBM. I love that aircraft. You son of a... X, thank you very, very much. Dude, that was... It's a 4-second thing, dude. You did not have to do that. Thank you. Seriously. Appreciate it. You really didn't have to do that, man. Thank you. Very kind. Very kind. Took me 3 seconds, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Like, a lot. Thank you. Really appreciate that. make sure I'm not getting lost since I was running my mouth earlier about that. Because I've totally lost sight of the interstate. And that was my initial plan, was just to follow I-10. I think that's it. Might be coming out of Florence there. We'll find it. We haven't done a flyby view in a minute. So cool. Oh, I think that's my interstate right there. It's hard to tell. This is such a cool plane. I love the sounds of this plane. This plane sounds phenomenal. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Means a lot. Stop. We gotta set up a group flight. I really do want to do that again. I used to do that all the time. We gotta find somewhere that we can easily hop from place to place. So. It was fun giving people an opportunity to sit and wait for the pack to show up, and then we'd... Gosh, I remember the last time I did a group flight. I don't remember where. I think we were island hopping in the Caribbean. There was one spot, dude, like people were just having to like make up places to park. There were planes everywhere. The thing that sucks though is I think Microsoft Flight Simulator has a limit of like 50 aircraft, I think it is. And then anything more than that, and they move you to another mirrored server, so you won't necessarily be able to see everyone. Would you stop showing me this? I don't want to see this every single time. Is that what that is? No? Close? No! Yes. Exit. I didn't mean to hit that. Oh no, that is. That's Tucson. I'm on the right path. Okay. Alright, kick it over just a little bit. It's bumpy. It's a bumpy day. Yeah, I know, right? I just gotta figure out a good time to do it. Yeah, we'll have to find somewhere cool to go. I'm sitting here thinking about it now. could do Australia. Do a circle around Australia. That'd be a long one. Could be fun though. Yeah, but I bet it's going to be a while. My understanding is the SDK is pretty messed up. Oh, we're at altitude. Chase plane is awesome though. That's the other thing we have to think about when it comes to the group flight is if we do 2020 or 2024. Oh, there we go. I'm down with that. That'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah, I'll set that up for next weekend. We'll do a group flight. The chase plane? I think so. Pretty sure it was April. Hey, look at weird. Limited time. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, doesn't say a date. It's here. Chase plane is currently available for Club 42 members. It will be released when most of the discovered issues are found and resolved. Fair enough. It also notifies you inside the software. When you launch it in the sim, it tells you if there's an update. Cripsy, good morning. How are you? Bush flights in Honolulu, that'd be cool too. Yes, it is X, but I think through a different method. I don't think it's through a direct integration. I'll get more information on it and get back to you on that. I don't remember. But I mean, you can bind it in the sim. So if you hit edit, you can assign any key you want. You just click on it, and whether it's joystick, button, doesn't matter. You just click it, and it recognizes it. So For anyone new watching, please do me a favor and check out the GoFundMe link down in the description below. Just read the story. That's all I'll say, but if you guys can just take a quick minute and read that, and then consider if you can donate, I appreciate it. Very special to me. ...2024, I think... I would imagine it's going to be a while yet before we see Chase playing for it, because last I heard... there is a issue with the SDK in 2024 that has to be resolved. Am I doing cross the pond? You know, I've never actually done it. I'm thinking about it. That's what, a couple weeks away though, isn't it? Again, with the kids and everything, I have to really plan for it, so we'll see. That's why my live streams are so hard. That's why they're so inconsistent. It's just, it's hard to commit. They make my schedule. It's completely up to them what Dad does. So we are going to be coming around the back side of Tucson. Start turning us 90 degrees. Let's see what the MEDAR is. Seriously? How do you not have Tucson yet? Guess we'll wait a minute. Oh. Am I really set to 150 miles? Oh, totally am. I'm still like 40 miles out. Still. This is what it was really like getting near these mountains too. My dad and I used to go flying around. We used to get up every early morning when the girls would go out and go shopping when my dad had SPAD's license. We'd get up really early in the morning, go fly somewhere, have breakfast, come back home. Some of these little airports, hair care and tire centers, have the best breakfast burritos, by the way. Hey, is that the biosphere? Pretty sure that's it. Let me get on a different angle here. I don't think in all the time that I've had Microsoft Flight Simulator that I've ever actually flown over it. I'm pretty sure that was it. Stupid wing. There are cons to low wings. It's going to be just on the other side of this community. Yeah, that's it right there. That's Biosphere 2. Neat. If you look over your left wing, I remember going out there on a field trip as a kid. Yeah, pretty much. There's nothing that you can do in the sim that you can't do with SPAD. Like, nothing. I can't think of a single thing that you can't do with SPAD.Next. April 26th? Okay. I should be able to make that work. That's enough notice. Sorry, I'm still geeking out over the biosphere. That was cool. Anyway, where am I? Neat. Yeah, if I were to do that, it'd probably be the 777. What do you want, fuzzball? Monthan and Tucson. Oh, really? Temperature issues, huh? Well, let's turn the heater on. There we go. Flying over Oracle now. Definitely always wanted to do the cross the pond. That's a VAT sim thing though, isn't it? I gotta get set up for VAT sim. I've been meaning to do it for years. Like literally years. I can't wait for Beyond ATC to get VFR support. That's going to be cool too. Those look so good. I'll give them that. Like we were saying earlier, man, it's the scenery. Let's do a night approach. Let me turn the panel lights on first. Okay. I couldn't remember where the damn switch was. There we go. Oh, wow. Alright, now can I get the MEDAR for Tucson? I mean, I'm like 20 miles away. Alright, Davis Mountain. That'll give me what I want. Winds 160, 10 miles, clear. Okay, so we're landing runway 12. Alright. That's all I need to know. I'll set it up. If anything, that'll be the, what's the word I'm looking for? The incentive. I need to. Let's dim it down in here and set the mood. I don't know what's wrong with me. What's wrong with you? Yeah, it's like I said, it's not that I don't want to set it up. It's just, the list of I wants and things I want to do is so long right now. That's why I'm always up so late. Just trying to figure out how to squeeze everything in. That's a hard question for me to answer. And I caught flack for this a few videos back, and unfortunately my opinion hasn't changed. All I will tell you is that I will never review Say Intentions on this channel. There have been a lot of very weird things that they have done. There's been a lot of comments and things that I have seen. A lot of action and first-hand experience that I have witnessed from other people. Like, I've seen the chats, I've seen the communications. That's all I can tell you. I don't want to turn into a big drama thing. It's just, I will never, you do with that information what you will. I will never put Say Intentions on my streams or on my system. Just odd behavior, weird stuff. I hope that gives you enough to make a decision. I was really excited about it for a long time, but I think so, X. I'm on US West. So I think so. Let me make sure my multiplayer stuff is turned on. I think it is. Here, I'll turn the nameplates on. I think that's it, right? Data on. Yeah, that should be it. KPHX? That is not KPHX. We are nowhere near Phoenix, folks. Okay, we're gonna have to let the nose dive for a second so I can see something. Yeah, no. Alright, get your butt up. Why is it showing as KPHX? And that should be Tucson because DM's, yep, DM's right there. Come on, baby. Oh, it's the flight. Come on, baby, use those props. Slow down. We're gonna drop the flaps a little early. Bring the gear down. There we go. There's some drag. November 240 Victor, get the hell out of my way. There we go. Slip it. Come on. Yep, there is the fall. Come on, get back on center line. Man, they never did fix the ground lights, did they? Wow, these runway lights are terrible. Oh, that sucks. Well, it's crappy without all the lights. That was disappointing. Why am I so far to the left? Or to the right? Biz jets are definitely my favorite. As far as the jet lines. If you want to learn the the A320, get the fly-by-wire. Don't use the default. The default's garbage. The fly-by-wire is free, significantly better modeled, and then if you decide that you want to upgrade, move into something like the Phoenix. If you guys haven't picked this Duke up, I highly recommend it. I typically only fly the piston, and again, I actually don't know why. I think it's a more complex aircraft, again, having to worry about leaning your mixture and everything else that comes with it. I like busier planes. You know, all the stuff that I always forget to do. There would never be an airliner over here. Not ever. And then that's actually the National Guard. It's not modeled well in this. I need to get... There's a scenery fixer for Tucson. I need to get it installed. I will say this, Microsoft Flight Simulator was the first time that somebody actually made a good scenery map for it. It's free on flightsim.to. It's done by Bullfrog. Did a fantastic job. Nailed it with his scenery. I need to download it again and get it in there. I'm good with the Duke, man. The Duke's a good one. Yeah. Kevin. Yeah, man. It's funny, but like, I'm so guilty of it though, dude, because like I want the busier planes. I want a lot of things to do, and then I forget to do half of them. Clean those spark plugs off. That should have, like, case in point, that should have been turned off at landing. No failures. I haven't damaged the engines yet. Must be doing okay. How we still have 35 gallons of fuel. Damn. Even with me screwing around. Thing's great on gas. Oh. That is one of the cool parts about Chase Plane is you can actually walk outside the plane. Like if you set it up like on an Xbox controller or something, you can actually manipulate the controller to where you were walking out. Yeah, you guys. Make it busy. Keep it complicated. What was I supposed to do? Oh, hey, I needed to do that. Why is that happening? Why is my engine turning off? That's me. Hey guys, I just did this full tutorial PDF guide, which by the way, join me on Patreon. I just did this full tutorial PDF guide, but I forgot to actually follow it. Yeah. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I have forgotten so much stuff that's in this guide, and it's all right here. If I were to follow my own guide. Trying to decide if I'm done for the night or if I want to drive. I did pick up John Ruda. For those of you who like American Truck Simulator, picked up a John Ruda cab over today. Haven't tried that one out yet. Tried ETS out for the first time today. It's pretty cool. Whole different experience. Went into 3 head-on collisions because they drive on the wrong side of the road. And if any of you are watching and you drive on the wrong side of the road, it's your fault, not mine. Kidding. Kind of. Tail draggers, I like them. So believe it or not, going back to that whole complex thing, if they're modeled correctly. The problem with most of the tail draggers in Microsoft Flight Simulator I've noticed is they don't simulate ground loop. So one of the better ones that I remember flying that I need to download it again now that I think about it. I actually love that airplane. Is the I guess formerly Milviz, the Corsair. They did a really good job modeling the tail wobble. Like when you land on that one, you actually have to dance the rudder pedals. If you don't dance those rudder pedals, you're going to wreck it. So it really depends. I'm not very good with them, in case you're wondering. But I do like them, if they're modeled well. I like them all in their own right. I don't know that I have any planes that I just like blatantly don't like. Like believe it or not, one of my favorite planes is and always will be, I think, is the Mooney from Coronado. The Mooney is just a fun plane. It's not very realistic, doesn't have the best flight model, but it's a lot of fun to fly. You can land it on freaking anything because of those damn speed brakes that are on it. It literally has speed brakes. The ones that I don't like are the ones that are charging payware prices for freeware and below quality. Like some of the freeware developers smoke some of these payware developers. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. You're catching me close to the end of it, but how are you? Actually, I don't know if that's true. I just might be switching over to American Truck Simulator. I might drive for an hour or so. I have such a good time with all this stuff. It's so much fun. If you guys haven't tried doing logging in Farming Sim, it's pretty fun too. The Farming Sim 25 is pretty good. I'm not much into the farming spot of it, but I really like the logging. I don't know why. Doing just fine, Paul. Doing just fine. English is perfect, bud. What time is it? 2:10. It's 2:10 already? Damn. Yeah, I know how that goes. I don't sleep very well either. Unfortunately, you caught me at the end of the flying. We just did 2 flights. We're gonna be ending here in a minute. At least for the flight sim. We went from Sedona down to Phoenix, and then we went from Phoenix to here in Tucson. Single engine Otter wants an MSF 2020 and couldn't land and gave it. The Otter? Okay. I remember struggling with the Otter too, though, but I haven't flown that in a really long time. But for some reason, I thought I remembered that there was actually an issue with the Otter. That everybody, like there were, like most people were having trouble landing it. You know what I wish somebody would make is a detailed, really authentic, like DCS World Status, firebombing simulator. You know, attacking forest fires and things. Like even at a training mission where you have to get your fire attack card. I think that'd be cool. Like the way they put it in 2024, it sucks. That was probably the biggest thing with 24 that I was looking forward to was the fire attack, and it's lame, dude. I was so bummed out. I expected so much more from that. But I wish somebody would come out with a simulator just for that, but very authentic, very realistic, right down to the flight dynamics to I mean, the things that the thermals of the fire will do. I mean, fire will screw a plane up, man. Nothing big either. Like, I don't want to fly like the MDs or anything like that in a fire. I want to fly like the CL-215s, or if you want to go like back to like the movie Always, old PBYs or A-26, that'd be cool. I think it was an A-26. I don't think they used a B-26 in that movie. I think it was the A-26. What do you think, guys? Do I feel like driving? Should we drive the truck? I could keep working on my ETS too. God, I suck at that. What the hell is happening there? That's odd. It's like wigging out. You're having to completely reinstall. Wow. Yeah, give me a few minutes, guys. I'll do a load or two on ATS. I kind of want to drive for a minute before I wrap it up. I'm going to end this stream, and then I'll start that one up here in just a minute. So I'll catch you guys in just a few.